I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I am simulcasting on Rumble and Utizzle, and I hope this video finds you all well. So, we're going into the weekend. Are we going to have a quiet weekend? Or is it going to be bomb, 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 Iran? I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. Cuba's back on the menu, boys. So, yeah, things got stirred up a little bit with Cuba today. And Trump likes rattling cages. And he's got a few new cages to rattle. And we'll see how things go. But remember what my dad used to say, when things get quiet, that's when you got to watch out. But anyway, what do I always do? I play videos. I play videos to give people time to get themselves a cup of coffee, a nice cold brouhaha, or an adult beverage of their choice. And then we will be like butter and get on the roll.
We have a problem with this rising tide of white supremacy in America. And we have a president who encourages and emboldens. When he said after Charlottesville, there were, and I quote, very fine people on both sides. I said then it gave license and safe harbor to white supremacists and neo-Nazis and to the Ku Klux Klan. These words not only stunned America, but they stunned the world. And in doing so, he assigned a moral equivalence between those spewing hate and those with the courage to stand against it. We are almost 330 million Americans who have to do what our president can't. Stand together. Stand against hate. We choose hope over fear. We choose unity over division. And yes, we choose truth over lies. If we stand together, we will win the battle for the soul of this nation.
There are new details that sharply undercut years of media and Democrat speculation and assertions about Donald Trump. Newly released FBI interview records confirm that Trump personally contacted Florida police in 2006 during the original Jeffrey Epstein investigation, and not to shield Epstein, but to support law enforcement going after him. According to the former Palm Beach police chief, Trump called investigators and praised them for pursuing the case. He warned about Epstein abusing underage girls. Trump also flagged Ghislaine Maxwell as evil, and he urged the police in Florida to focus on her role in recruiting victims. This is all in the Epstein files. Trump was right. The entire narrative around him and Epstein was a hoax perpetrated by Democrats to deflect away from their own problems. The police chief told federal investigators that Trump was the only prominent figure who proactively reached out to assist their investigation at a time when Epstein was surrounded by powerful friends and enablers. The FBI records also reinforce longstanding reports that Epstein was barred from Mar-a-Lago after inappropriate conduct there. And there is more. Additional documents show Democratic Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett communicated with Epstein using a fake name, presumably to shield herself from scrutiny. Reports indicate Plaskett used a pseudonym while exchanging messages with Epstein in connection with official matters, raising new questions as more names surface in the expanding Epstein document release. We'll have more to come as the Epstein files continue to be reviewed, but it seems to me there's vindication here for Trump and more trouble for Democrats than the media has ever wanted you to know.
I was the hunted, and now I'm the hunter.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm they're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Well, think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like.
political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's so nice to see you all. It's so nice to be with you. How is everyone doing? Are we going into a quiet weekend? Is it going to stay quiet? We shall see. I wouldn't be sleeping too good if I was a mullah. I heard there was a strike and got 14 a Republican Guard, a Revolutionary Guard, whatever you want to call them. And they're now with Allah, okay, flying their magic carpets and got their goats and their whatever they get, or whatever they think they get. But hi, Sissy, how you doing? Todd, nice to see you. Whoa. Wow. Man, it took me right down to the bottom of the line. Let's see. Elva's here. Doc's here. Tammy's here. Cole, there they are, the younger gang. Ha ha, nice to see you, everyone. Let's see. Melinda's here. Sissy's here. Let's see. Who'd I miss so far? Anybody? Gary's here. Ha ha. Get ready. Let's go. Yes. You know, like I said, Dad used to say, when it gets quiet, hi, Robin. Nice to see you. Ha ha. Kept me from getting skunked. Wayne's here. Nice to see you. Let's see. Text. Oh, thanks. I thought you were talking about Texas, Kim. I'm trying to kind of read the chats and kind of scroll too. Randy, nice to see you. Flannel Cheese. Max here. All right. Who else is rolling in? All my lurkers. Nice to see you. Benjamin's here. Yes, I know. It's good to have lurkers. Gotta have your lurkers. Pappy Two Bears. Nice to see you. And every now and then we'll have a lurker pop in and say hi. If you do and I miss you, I don't mean to. When I get talking, it's kind of hard to keep an eye on every thing that goes by. I try my best. So, anyway. Hi, Jerry. Nice to see you. Miss Menderson making hamburger, pork and beans. Oh, boy, some coleslaw. That would really set it off. I put a little bit of brown sugar and vinegar, mix up. Well, I don't want to give away my recipes, but I make some good coleslaw. I would give Miss Menderson my recipe. But anyway, so here we are. How do you all like my thumbnail? Insidious Judges. The reason I put that in there is because I'm busy. You know, I'm trying to keep up with stuff. And I get these notifications. And over again, Judge stops Trump. One of them said, I didn't open it up. I know what it went to say. I think I might have a screenshot of it. Judge to consider whether or not air conditioning would be needed and ... You know, I'm supposed to click on it, read the article. Like I can't figure that out. Air conditioning at Alligator Alley or whatever the hell they call it. You know, where they're there 2, 3, maybe 4 days and get shipped off. That's exactly what it is. I would bet dollars to donuts, you know. Anything they can frustrate, aggravate, accelerate costs, and then go, oh, we're in debt, so much debt. You know, so they're sickening. The left is sickening. These judges are the epitome of the word insidious. Okay? And Trump himself said what the media is. I'll play some clips from him. Got a lot of clips from him. He went down to the villages. I said, oh, brother, he's going to go down there, and there's going to be a bunch of old scrones riding around on golf carts. You know, the usual thing I say, smelling like cat pee and box wine, screaming and yelling, waving. Oh, they can't wave no king signs because they're probably out there hollering for the king. I don't know. So, yeah, you know, they've lost their damn minds. And Trump brought that up too, TDS. And I had a clip. You remember when I was doing a kind of a theme about psychological warfare and that it causes brain damage? Okay, brain damage. And your psyche is part of your brain, right? And PTSD, and I talked a little bit about shell shock was the first thing I had a clip about, I might still have it in the studio. You know, what the psychological impact of conflict doesn't have to be. I talked about, you know, bombs, but I also talked about hand-to-hand combat or being in a dark, hostile environment, you know, with nothing as a friend but fear, okay, for prolonged periods can warp your mind, you know, and repeated assaults, psychological assaults on your personage can cause disorders of the brain. So we can talk about that too. Trump said, you know, he talked about, well, I won't keep talking about what Trump's going to say, and I got the clips. I just play the clips. But anyway, before I do that, I want to show you this guy. He's not at all what I thought he would look like. This is the genius behind this bar, is it? Minnesota Brewing Company, yeah. Look at him. This is the moron, as Bugs Bunny would say. Outlandish, how you doing? That put out free beer when one of the fellow resistors are successful in taking out Donald Trump. Let's see what this is about. It's a video. I'll play it in a second. This is a voicemail they left me. Can't attach the actual audio. Working fast here. So he got I won't say raided, but they came to see him about that business. Hi, Mr. Bankstan. My name is Special Agent Wimmer with the U.S. Secret Service. We have some information come to our attention. Honestly, I just had a couple of questions that we wanted to run by you. If you could give me a call back. And then put the number. He did not take the number down. He doxed these special agents. I guess the person that posted this took out the numbers, but he didn't. Just have a couple of questions. If we get able to talk this through, really appreciate it. Have a good rest of the day. Take care. Call this number and ask this Secret Service agent to stand down and honor his oath to my country, to his country. If that was the case, you toad frog, that's what it looks like, doesn't it? It looks like an old fat toad frog, in my opinion. His ass would already be in federal prison. You tell me when the day came, like I talked about that Ronald Reagan speech, since when? Since when was it legal to say, the day Donald Trump gets assassinated, I'll buy everybody drinks. I own a brewery, I'll buy everybody as many drinks as you want. That's how you get your ass in jail. Oh, excuse me for using rough language. But anyway, Carol Lynn said, so should we call them back? Yes, flood the effer's phone number and no, they ain't putting me away without millions of people being PO'd as well. Well, no, buddy. We're going to be PO'd if you don't end up in a federal prison. Okay? And you don't need a bond to your trial. All right? Incitement to violence against the President of the United States.
By the way, all you MAGA guys that linked the Secret Service and the FBI, it appears that they don't give a crap about your links, but the fact that you overwhelmed them with links probably forced them to actually come here and question me, which, you know, maybe that's what you wanted. So you got what you wanted. However, First Amendment still rules, and we're never going to stop talking. I'm never going to stop talking. All right. See you later. Over and out. We're still here. We're still public. Ain't no one going to jail in the immediate future. Bye.
What did you say at the end there? I got to wear my headphones for the rest of these videos. My voice might be a little different because of that. But yeah, he's arrogant as hell. And he thinks he's fine. He thinks he's fine. You know what? They're going to go through everything he ever posted. Every bit of social media he's got. And he's a hairbreadth away, I think. He said no one was going to jail. So, yeah, we'll see. Hi, Kim. How you doing? We shall see. We shall see. Because, you know, hey, it's just a matter of time, and the bolder they get, the bolder they get. So, let's see what we got here. Greg Gutfeld. This guy called Hammer put this up, and I got a copy of it. Greg Gutfeld, one of his monologues. He nails it on the would-be Trump assassin. The guy did hear voices. Jack Posobiec put up a post saying, look, no signs of schizophrenia, no disjointed thoughts, no history of mental illness. All he was doing was verbatim repeating what he learned on Blue Sky and from the left mainstream media. So Gutfeld goes on to say, this guy did hear voices. They were Ted Lieu's. They were Brandon Johnson's. They were CNN's. They were The View. They were MSNBC. He wasn't a crank. He was just following orders. The left's rhetoric is inciting violence. Yeah, I don't see how that guy didn't get hauled off. I think they're going to get, you know, you think that's the least he's ever posted? The least he's ever posted? Oh, did you all hear about this? You know, I got this video. I didn't play it last night. A video showing him wandering around the hotel. If y'all want to watch it, I'll play it. And him finally making his move. And I was wondering about that. I saw somebody way down the hallway. I said, who's that? Well, it was a K-9 cop that sniffed out, the dog sniffed out this bonehead, and that handler pulled him back moments before the would-be assassin charged the White House, the correspondence dinner. So he stopped at the doorway, but he was pulled back by the dog handler. So, I don't want to fault people too much. I thought they reacted very quickly. The guy, it's a miracle he's alive. But you know what? If he would have opened that door, you know what I think would have happened? I think he would have done away with that man, the dog handler, or the dog. And the fact that, you had one agent struck in a bulletproof vest, and, you can break a rib, you can bruise your liver or a split in your organ inside you, like your pancreas or something like that, depending on which side you got shot on. A lot of bad things from it ain't perfect. A bulletproof vest ain't perfect. But anyway, that's about the least amount of loss of life you could expect, given the fact that this guy was bent. I mean, he how many shots he fired? I guess we'll find out. Multiple. But anyway, so I'm not going to question what I feel was grace. Whether that guy knew it or not, there was a something bigger than him, or he wouldn't be alive right now. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, dog was alerting. Yeah. Well, it's like I'm saying, Todd. The dog probably would have got shot. And the agent, he's got both hands on a leash. There'd be delay time before he could pull a weapon. He might have got it too. And then, this so-called assassin, he wouldn't have got down the hallway, but he would have been probably filled with holes. So there'd have been the dog and probably him and the cop at least. So I never call it dumb luck. But it was some kind of fortune there. Good fortune. So anyway, and remember I talked about that Senate candidate. They said they found his truck abandoned. I haven't heard details about that yet. But this is his truck. Does this look abandoned to you? It's a little more than abandoned. Missing Senate candidate Barry Christian found DEAD, State Park, Oklahoma State Park. Coco 5 News if you want to watch it. I watch it. They didn't say anything about where they found him. They said after an extensive search, they found him. Did he wreck and get disoriented and wander off? I don't know. They haven't given much detail. Was he one of those people that harmed themselves? And this is another thing I didn't get a chance to post yesterday. You never even call me by my name. Mountain Man's by the country legend, music legend, dead at 86. Outlaw country pioneer David Allan Coe has passed away. He was 86 years old. His widow confirmed his death to Rolling Stones. So I believe it was natural causes. That's the ripe old age to live to, especially if you're in the music industry world and you got friends in low places and, jukeboxes and honky-tonks and Andy Rose Blues puts holes in your shoes. You go to all these honky-tonks and that's a good long life. Willie Nelson, they said, was not doing too good, but he's in his 90s for crying out loud. So there's another American icon who has passed on. that I didn't get put up last night. Let me see. Who came in when I was... Robert's here, and let's see. Let me see. Who'd I miss? He smelled gunpowder. Well, maybe he did. I don't know. Could have. But anyway. Here's another clip that you all would probably want to see. I didn't get to play last night. I was pushing, around hour 45, I started getting breakdown issues in the stream. But anyway, a brain surgeon, and, you pass a guy like this on the street, you wouldn't realize he was a deluded, psychologically damaged TDS freak. But he is. Just like that character with the brewery. I got freedom of speech. But this guy, this is dysphoria. This is dysphoria. A very nice young lady here asking him simple questions. And I will say he did not get rude with her. He didn't tell her to go get lost or get the F away or call her names or nothing. And he was trying to answer her questions. He can't. Because his mind is shot from psychological warfare. I'm telling you, it causes brain damage. He's dysphoric.
What do you make of the fact that he was democratically elected, even won the popular vote? How does that make him a king?
It doesn't make him a king. It makes him a president, not a king.
Well, this is called no kings. So what does that mean to you?
It means we got to get rid of him. He's not a king. It's a democratic process, and we've gone that route with him. Now he's acted like a king.
Can you give me a specific example?
Specific example? Well, there's a million of them all put together. There's no one example. It's
just one or two?
It's more than one or two.
No, can you give me one or two examples?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I can, I guess. I'm just in a loss of thought here on there's a lot of things.
Okay.
I can't really.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
I know what Biden did. I don't agree with all of it, but this is way worse than what any other president
what makes it worse
in this country. You can't see that? I don't have anything more to say if you don't know.
What makes President Trump a king?
Himself.
What specific policies or actions?
Oh, everything that he does. The man's a fascist.
Can you give me an example?
Oh, boy, of everything that he does. I mean, he just tries to put his name on everything.
What specific action or policy is the Trump administration acting like a king?
He wants to be a dictator. He loves dictators. He wants to be a dictator. And
didn't he just remove a dictator from Venezuela?
He went in and stole them.
So he was not a dictator in Venezuela?
He was.
So he removed a dictator.
Just disappeared. There are people that are American citizens that immigrated to this country illegally, and they're gone. Some people.
Can you give me a specific example? Because I'm not aware of any American.
You're not aware of that? It's being in the news.
Can you give me a specific example?
Donald Trump rapes children.
Of an American citizen.
I know it's a setup. What you're doing.
I want you told me an American citizen has been
deported.
Look
it up, but
that's a big claim. I just want to know.
There are several of them.
They're crazy. They're crazy. It's a nice way to put it, is that they're crazy. And that's why I was on that one broadcast. It might have been one that got cut off early. I was going to show. What was it called? Pathé. What do they call it? They have old videos of people who have. Here we go. War neurosis. Okay. From 1917. And don't forget, I was raising the devil about Spain a month ago. Nobody was talking about him. Trump wasn't mad at him yet. But he did allude to the Spanish flu. He did allude to the illness that broke out in, I think he said 1918. And a lot of people were asking about, was it the Bolshevik Revolution? Probably. Was he talking about the commies taking over Spain? Probably. The Spanish flu came across on troop ships. Okay, millions and millions of people died. But anyway, this is people that weren't injured physically, okay? But the sound of gunfire, the fear, the things going bump very loudly in the night. Now, these are physical manifestations mostly, except the one prior from that you saw, the glare, the stare, they can't connect. There have been thousands of other cases of personality. I won't play the whole thing. Personality changes, irritability, just a lot of what you see on the left. Irrational crankiness. And these are the more pronounced physical manifestations of what the war can do to your mind and your nerves. And everyone she just asked has something wrong with their brain, where they couldn't put a cogent thought together. And normally they get nasty and mad and scream out the talking points that they've been debunked to the point now they don't even try. Saying he's a rapist, right? And a P3DO file. They can't say that. So they're left with nothing except confusion and dumbfounded anger. So, I'm going to play these clips. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure I got the one where he said, he seems like he's joking, but he's really not. That TDS should be classified as a disorder. And I would say that it is a part of the illegal psychological warfare campaign. A lot of people are victims. Some of them are born victims, want to be victims, and will stay victims. Others, though, they play on people's fears. Fear, the most powerful thing you can attack somebody with. But anyway, let's see. First clip here is Trump talking about what's he going to do with Iran. I think this is the one. Bomb them, or now they're talking about the, I think this is the one where we're talking about the generals putting forth the Dark Eagle bombs. What's going to happen with that?
The CENTCOM commander come in here yesterday. Was he briefing you on a different approach? Options. What kind of options? How would it look different?
There are options. I mean, do we want to go and just blast the hell out of him and finish him forever, or do we want to try and make a deal? I mean, those are the options.
Do you want to go blast the hell out of him?
I'd
and
prefer
finish him
not.
forever?
On a human basis, I'd prefer not, but that's the option. Do we want to go in there heavy and just blast them away, or do we want to do something they're a very disjointed unitship, as you can understand, Peter. Very disjointed. I mean, they're not getting along with each other, and it puts us in a bad position. One group wants to make a certain deal, the other group wants to make a certain deal, including the hardliners. The hardliners want to make a deal too. Why wouldn't they? They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft, they have no nothing.
Well, the tough spot is that the whack jobs that are in charge. First of all, if they give up the uranium, it's going to have U.S. fingerprints all over it. Word on the street is that there is a significant tranche of gold, okay, that they will be able to trace where those bars came from. There are many reasons why not only hardliners would sacrifice their own lives or risk sacrificing their own lives, but a lot of powerful people all around the world that could get exposed. And so there's a lot of pressure being put on these people to hang on to the damn bitter end. Okay? And how's the media handle it? What do? The Telegraph. This is all the most photographed, man. This isn't cut off by me. This is their actual complete post. A picture of Donald Trump. Iran has trapped Donald Trump. You know, if I click on the article, I might get a better picture. But if you're scrolling on YouTube, that's what you get. That's what they picked, the most photographed man in probably human history. Unless Trump is open to pulling the plug on the operation entirely and selling it as a success, a mutually acceptable settlement with Iran is the only way this war officially terminates. Somebody named Daniel DePetris. I called him Daniel de Dimwit. Who cares what this guy got to say? You know, a lot of times my videos get blocked. It says they're unavailable in certain regions, which I can see them doing that. You know, it depends on the song, what company has the copyrights and where they're doing business at and stuff. But my point is, they can say, okay, your video can't be viewed in Belarus and somewhere else because of a copyright issue. Limited viewership. But they show it all around Canada, U.S., or whoever. Why can't they do that with these propagandists like the Telegraph? Why am I seeing their headlines and their psyops here in America? Stick with, like, we can't get Washington Post, Washington Times, New York Post, their posts put up. That's enough for me. And why give them an open door on this platform? Well, free speech. They put their people in jail. If they are from countries that put their people in jail over posts, they shouldn't. Their posts should be restricted in the USA. I don't want to see that crap. I don't want my soft-headed friends who are dysphoric enough getting that type of misdirection. Okay. So, yeah, maybe they'll do something about it. Now, here's something we all should be worried about, right? Let's all get up in arms. Mom Dami says New Yorkers among those held in Gaza flotilla interception with Greta von Doomberg, where they found drugs. They found condominiums. Other items, which I don't have any detail on, but they say it was embarrassing and showed signs of debauchery. What are they doing over there? Zoran Mamdani says several New Yorkers are among more than 175 people detained after Israeli forces intercepted a humanitarian flotilla bound for Gaza. You're going into the area of conflict, calling the move a violation of international law. How so? He said his team is in contact with the state and federal officials as efforts continue to verify the conditions of those held. Well, they're still alive. If the IDF didn't do anything and just let them go to Palestine, that wouldn't be the case. Believe you me. So anyway, who cares? But they will try to drum something up where Trump has some manner of responsibility to go take care of those lunatics. Johnny Mild put this up. Now I understand why they were adamant everyone mask up. Anna von Reitz. In 2008, excuse me, got a little frog in my throat. Ribbit. Dr. Anthony Fauci co-authored a paper about the Spanish flu epidemic that rates as the most devastating modern pandemic. Modern pandemic, it was 1918, 109 years ago, or 8 years ago. It swept the entire planet in the wake of the First World War and caused millions of deaths. So in studying this major and actual pandemic, what did Dr. Fauci and his colleagues find? I don't know. Tell us. They discovered that most of the victims of the Spanish flu didn't die from the Spanish flu. They died from bacterial pneumonia. Bacterial pneumonia. And the bacterial pneumonia was caused by, wait for it, wearing masks. He co-authored a paper in 2008. The demi, as in pan, demi, was in 2019, right? Spanish flu? Yeah, okay. Oh, good news. Good news. It's done. At least one state's done. It's official. Ron DeSantis' new congressional map for Florida, which positions Republicans to win an extra 4 seats in the U.S. House, has fully passed the Senate 21-17. Yeah, it's going to be a lot more. Christina Guai put that little visual up. So, how many more states we got to do? We got a lot of them. Who was it? Louisiana is delaying their primary till they get some maps straightened out, and then they'll do their primaries. This might be that report I got. Oh, this is, I'm just showing you. The mind games. The mind games. I don't want to get a copyright strike. House clears critical hurdle to advance 3 major priorities. Now, this is a couple of days old. They got the DHS funded. But anyway, this was a couple of days ago. Look how they put it. Republican leaders overcame opposition and threatened approval for a key spy law. DHS funding in the Farm Bill. A key spy law. They want to get rid of the FISA Act or the Patriot Act or whatever they used to after Trump and his people and Ted Cruz and other Republicans. They want to get rid of that. Now they call it a spy law. So all the Democrats go, see, the Republicans are spies. And they've been doing it for 20 freaking years. They didn't call it spy law then. It was something necessary for the security of the country. Yeah, getting rid of Trump is what you all wanted it for. Just showing you little things. Somebody is sitting around exercising their brain to a high degree to come up with this. Every word that goes out put before the people. Now here, Israel sent laser system to UAE to fend off Iran's missiles. We've been hearing that there's a lot of technology that, heretofore has not been put out before the public. Israel reportedly deployed a version of its Iron Beam laser-based air defense system to the United Arab Emirates. Now they're out of OPEC. And they're free agents now, okay? They don't belong to some club that'll say, vote, no, you got to keep your prices the way they are. And you can only pump so much oil because you're part of OPEC, and we're going to set the prices and we're going to set the production amounts. Well, UAE said, screw you, after Iran, which is part of OPEC too, said they were going to wipe out their oil facilities and power plants. They had enough. They had the most lobbed at him than any other country, United Arab Emirates. So most missiles. So anyway, to protect, shield the Gulf nation from missile and drone attacks, they deployed a surveillance system known as Spectro to help detect Iranian drones from distances up to 20 kilometers. With the regional officials saying the move highlights the value of being Israel's friend. A regional official. Well, the whole region's full of Muslims. So they got saying that you're better off to be Israel's friend than you're their enemy. So, fence mending, Abraham Accords, all going in that direction. Let's see. Yeah, everybody watched the Kingsman. I had some pictures. I think I got a video from Melania. He looked like he was having trouble with his legs, whoever he was. I showed pictures of it, of the King from 1970 with Richard Nixon last night. Of course, we all looked a lot different from 50 years ago. Disco time. Anyway, here's a split screen. There must be somebody up to something. A before and after. Is this guy a hypocrite or what? Let's see. Here we go. I have a suspicion this is an example of media manipulation.
What you saw is what you think you saw. Elon Musk did the Heil Hitler salute. He did. And what you were talking about is maybe the most dangerous moment in modern American political history, whereas there is a sense of endorsement from Elon Musk and a sense of entitlement and immunity given to people who are contemplating acts of violence against politicians, but specifically Democrats. And so all of our lives got put in jeopardy by what Elon Musk did on Monday night and what Donald Trump did the next day with those pardons.
He sounds like a human being to me, a human being who made mistakes, recognizes them, and is very open about it. But yeah, certainly, I'm looking forward to sitting down and talking to him about it. He's obviously, right now performing very well in the polls in Maine. He's talking a language that speaks to a lot of middle-class voters, a lot of Trump voters that, frankly, are looking for Democrats that understand working-class concerns.
Not the same guy, you think? I saw that in the chats. Voice is different. Well, a lot of these liberals, they get under stress. They look like they've been on a long drunk. Nice to see you. Roland, nice to see you. Debbie, nice to see you also. All right. Jim Acosta wants CNN to fire Scott Jennings. Yeah, I got that clip. He told this Adam Mockler kid, I showed his channel like a year ago. I said, where do these people pop up out of the damn ground? And they get all the views. There's another strategy they can use, right? Instead of censoring people, they got a rhythm, right? It's called algo and then rhythm. And you get stuff down the algo and then the rhythm. And that other one gets promoted. And they end up, like I showed you all, with Midas Trash Network. They get hundreds of thousands of views in hours. And other creators don't. Even though what they're promoting and talking about is not popular. It's insane. They get the more views and the more exposure and the more recommendations. So you don't have to censor people. You just bury them. And you put up people like this. Here's Midas Trash Network, got a new one. I never heard of them. Huge. Aaron Parnas's YouTube channel is one of the fastest growing out there right now. Help pushing to 1 million subscribers and be part of the momentum. The Parnas perspective. Let's push to 1 million subscribers. Who the hell is this? Who the hell is this? In what perspective? He couldn't carry Trump's briefcase. He couldn't shine Trump's shoes. He's got the IQ of this right here. There you go. Ilhan Omar. World War XI. No news for, 6 years. Well, that's why you're thinking clearly. They pump everybody's head full of garbage. Oh, I never did show you all picture. See if I got in the studio. The guy that, here's the thing about Fauci getting a right-hand man indicted by DOJ. He's facing federal charges, accused of secretly using private emails and accounts during the COVID-19 pandemic. Covering up. And I had a picture of his face, but let me see. Here's another one that should be involved too. But while I'm looking, you can see this guy here. He ought to get picked up too. But anyway, I had a picture of his face. He looks like one of those Iranian Republican Guard guys, short gray hair and fuzz on his face, gray fuzz, and doesn't look too happy. I might have took it out of the studio. But anyway, man, he's looking at the rest of his life in jail. And he's going to talk. He's going to talk. And that's going to be the ice. It's not going to be the key. It's going to be the icing on top of the cake. I'm looking for his picture, but oh well. Maybe I'll come across it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, here's a picture I got. Here he is. Doesn't he look like one of them Iranian Republican Guard generals? Doesn't he? If I covered up the words, you would think he was one of those Republican Guard guys. DOJ indicts former Fauci advisor in a cover-up that costs human life. Okay? So anyway, let's see about playing some Trump clips. Let me see. Get my headphones in. This is Trump down at the Villages. And one of them, he talks about Ilhan Omar. And, you know, it is. He gets laughs out of it, you know, but it's really disgusting that she's still in this country. But just bear with me. I'm putting my clipping my mic in. There, can you all hear my voice? I'm going to cut my mic off now. This is just so I can hear what he's saying on the video so we can talk about it.
Even on the fake news, look at all the fake news back there. What? That's a lot of fake news. That's a lot of fake news. That's a lot of fakers. Did you see where they had a study done and Trump on the evening news gets 93% bad publicity? 93. And yet I won in a landslide. Now, you know what that means? Now think of it. 93%. And, you know, like with Kamala, she made a bad statement on CBS 60 Minutes, and they had to pay me a lot of money, $38 million. You know what she did? Her statement was so bad the night before the election, it was so bad, that they took another answer that she gave, which was not bad. It wasn't good. It was nothing. And they put it in where she, and we found out they did it. They changed the answers. BBC has me AI saying about hate. We hate, we hate. I said, that's not me. They changed my lips. I couldn't even tell myself. I said, I didn't know. This gets very, but think of it, 93%.
Now, that's the first time I've heard that. Isn't that the first time you all have heard that? That they used AI to change his facial features. Not just messed around with editing. Did you all ever hear that? Trump's letting us know. They used AI to alter his facial features and put him in a bad light. Here's another clip from him. So I hope they have to pay a hell of a lot of damn money. So anyway, let's play this clip.
They have nothing but crime, poverty, pollution. Everything is horrible over there. Nothing good. They say it's the worst country anywhere in the world, that we got some beauties out there, but it's the worst. And then she comes here from Somalia, and she tells us how to run the United States of America. She says, the Constitution gives me certain rights. Gives me certain rights. And I demand that I be given these rights. Get the hell out. What a phony. And then she married a brother to come in. I don't know, you know, you're not. But I would imagine they're looking at her. I have nothing to do with it. I would imagine. Of course I have nothing to do. I have nothing, but I believe she married her brother, which is totally illegal. Although it's a lovely couple, actually, but it's a little bit on the illegal side. Darling, I love you very much. Good night, brother. Let's go to bed. Good night. Isn't she despicable? I can't stand watching her. I can't stand. Did you see last month? She accidentally checked the wrong box. It said she was worth $38 million. And law enforcement came after her for that. And then all of a sudden she was worth less than $80,000. And she said it was an accounting error. That was not a very good accountant, was it? Huh? No, their whole life is based on fraud and a scam. The whole thing is a scam. And we ought to get those people the hell out of our country.
That's bringing down the house, baby. That's what people want to hear. That's what I know I want to hear it. Let me get that picture of Soros off there. Wait a second. Just reminding people where all this stuff is going. You know, where did it go? Well, I'd have to do it this way. Goodbye. Boop. So anyway, Elva. ASAP. Let's see. Yeah, get her out ASAP. Right. Oh, almost forgot again. At around the 1 hour mark, I put a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee, and I want to thank everybody who helped out. Where's my booms? I got to get my booms going. I want to thank everybody for helping me out, but who kept me from getting skunked on my last video? It was Robin. And anyway, starting off May, it's a new month. I heard some kapow. I heard something. There's going to be some protests on May Day. Boom, boom. You know, that's a commie celebration. I don't even know what. Is it May 1st or May 2nd or May 5th? When's May Day? May Day. That's a commie celebration. But I tell you, who finished off last month for me was Mike and Bev, Younger Gang, Roland, Wayne, and Colette. I appreciate it. Let me put some booms in there for everybody. Boom, boom, boom. So, thank you, Robin, for going buy me a coffee. Link in the chats at the 1 hour mark. Anybody wants to support channel. Well, Outlandish, you got to hang in as long as you can. Every day's a bonus. Don't wish your life away. And he'll keep you here as long as you're needed. That's the way you look at it. And people that go ahead of us, you know, like what happened with my old friend. Just remember, every now and then, God wants to pluck a rose. God wants to pluck a rose. Here is a clip of Stephen Miller I didn't get to play. We'll play it now. I still got some more Trump clips I want to play. But I want to play Stephen Miller because I want to.
Believe that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota is the single greatest theft of taxpayer dollars through welfare fraud in American history. We believe that we have only scratched the very top of the surface of how deep this goes. And you're familiar with all the scams with pretending that children have autism who are not in fact autistic, with pretending to enroll people in food programs when in fact nobody was ever enrolled, and engaging in massive fraud, lying, and theft and grift on a scale we've never seen before in American history. The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme, and we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people. Look, based on the records we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare. But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
They gotta go. It's just that simple. How hard is that to understand? We're not the World Social Services. I got a notification before I went live that made me want to mention the insidious judges. Judge rejects Trump administration pause on immigration applications. They want over 2 million, almost 3 million, I believe, to be processed. It's brakes. We're putting on the brakes. Totally out of their authority. But the liberals will be acting, Trump won't follow the law. And right underneath, I don't know who Haynes Brown is, but MSNBC, the first story, what people are saying, trending posts. Who sets the trend? Who puts these things first in the lineup? What does it say? Opinion. ICE's quieter crackdown is pointed right at legal immigrants. And then next to that, Rachel Madcow. Americans thwart Trump's immigration prison plan. Americans, no. You're talking about a bunch of seditious lefty lunatics. But they got the top spots. And that is offered up unsolicited by Google. PSYOP. Illegal psychological warfare campaign. Oh, I forgot to play this. Alert! Alert! Fox News. What's the alert about? Let's see. Doom. Let's see. What's the subject on this?
On a new DOJ report alleging the Biden administration targeted Christians for investigations and prosecutions. Lauren Green is live from New York City. She has much more. Hi, Lauren. Good morning.
Hey, Dana. Well, the Department of Justice-led task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias released 14 findings that paint a picture of the Biden presidency that went beyond disagreement and moved to punishing Christians who held conservative religious beliefs in conflict with the administration's pro-choice gender ideology agenda. The report found the Biden DOJ brought multiple cases against pro-life activists, many of them Christians, under the FACE Act, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances. Email correspondence shows prosecutors privately mocked Christian pro-life views as culty and pursued more severe charges and harsher sentences for peaceful protests or pro-life defendants. In contrast, following the Dobbs decision in 2022 that overturned Roe v. Wade, there was a wave of vandalism and arson targeting churches and pregnancy resource centers. But the Biden DOJ pursued comparatively few prosecutions under the same FACE Act. Christian colleges and institutions were scrutinized and penalized for holding traditional views on gender, accusing them of Title IX violations and threatening school funding and accreditation. The report also cited the infamous FBI memo out of the Richmond field office that warned of radical traditionalist Catholics as extremists. The memo was withdrawn after public backlash, but the DOJ revealed it relied on the now disgraced Southern Poverty Law Center's list of hate groups. But the task force report concluded that the administration worked to suppress religious speech it did not like and used the weight of the federal government to marginalize certain kinds of Christians.
People on the left think of themselves as defenders of the separation between church and state, but instead what you have is the state authorizing and sanctioning certain types of religion over others.
A spokesperson for President Biden declined to comment, but Catherine Lahman, a former education secretary for civil rights under the Biden administration, told Politico that, quote, there was no religious discrimination that operated to infect any of our investigations.
You heard what was brought up there, Southern Poverty Law Center. They drum up the groups and they push them out front, and then they report them as a threat. But they're the ones financing. They're the ones building them up, paying the leadership. Huh. So did you all see, it's coordinated, and we got to find the nexus. How many times y'all heard me say about the nexus? Integrate many things. We've got to find a number of nexuses. What's the nexus to where a Secretary of War would be questioned by a senator in a very, very insidious way about his Christian faith.
Well, I think that direction from your behavior is an intense interest in Christianity, in nationalism, and in not recognizing the talent of women and non-white gentlemen, and that's the wrong direction.
I don't know what you're insinuating, Senator, but I am not ashamed of my faith in Jesus Christ.
Well, no, you shouldn't be ashamed.
And if you want to shame me for it, go ahead.
I'm not shaming you, but are you critical of other faiths?
I am a believer. I'm quite open in that, and our department allows for a multitude of faiths. So I don't know what you're suggesting. I've heard the likes of things that people like you suggest to try to smear my character, and I won't give into it.
I'd ask him, how much money did you get from the Southern Poverty Law Center? Huh? Senator? Here is where maybe you all will hear it. This is where Scott Jennings told that stupid little Adam Mockler. Now, Adam Mockler, that name fits it. It really does in a weird way. What he does is he gets rapid fire talking points that he vacuums up all the time, repeating repeating rapid fire points. You know, putting such high-minded stuff in like due process, every American, nobody's above the law, blah, 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 you know, and you can't get a word in edgewise. So, and then you're all the time's taken up, and they just puke out their talking points. But anyway, here's Scott Jennings. Told him, get your hand out of my effing face is what the quote is.
I mean, honestly, they have been at war with us for 47 years.
We all know that Scott Jennings is more than happy to defend a war with a country that starts with the letters IRA that we are currently failing, that is going to put us trillions and trillions of dollars more in debt. I was only a few years old while you were in the administration defending prior endless wars. Now this war is failing.
8 weeks is endless to you?
Okay, you said it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
You have the attention span of a gnat?
Homie, I debated you on TV 4 to 6 weeks ago, and you said we were weeks away from it. Now you're making condescending remarks because you can't defend the fact that this war is not going your way. Wait, one more time.
Not going your way.
One political concession. Name one political concession.
Whoa, honestly, I'm not going to have this guy's
everybody,
my face.
Everybody, hang tight.
Honestly.
Okay. No, everybody, calm down. Okay, we're having a debate. You can respond to the points that he's making.
Can you name a political concession that we've got?
We had a flashback to the war the skinheads had in my studio.
I would be mad if I had to defend war too. I would be mad if I had to defend war.
Scott, you can respond.
We have a very simple goal: to keep terrorists and a terrorist regime from having a nuclear weapon that can threaten the United States, our interests in the region, our allies in Europe.
So you can't answer the question.
That is
I would get mad too.
All right, we're going to leave it there, guys. Next for us, the president suggests
he's a little wise ass that makes you want to smack his chops because he says stuff that is demonstrably false, but he piles on so many statements afterwards that you can't go back in time and capture it. So, yeah, you feel like saying, look, you little smart Alec, and that's, you know, the way that's their game. Let's see, Chicago public schools to provide buses to attend anti-Trump protests. So, not only NGOs, but the NEA, okay, National Education Association, these teachers' unions, they use our own government money that we pay into to undermine our system.
Across the world will commemorate what's called May Day. It's also known as International Workers' Day.
And the Chicago Teachers Union had pushed to have the day off school to participate. Instead, though, the CTU and Chicago Public Schools reached a compromise for participation in today's civic action events. As part of that agreement, the district will provide buses for some students and teachers to attend a rally in Union Park at 1 this afternoon. School participation is determined by the principal, though, and students and teachers can opt out of the rally and stay at school school. Some parents have voiced concerns about how this will impact the quality of instruction for those that stay.
It's a communist rally. Workers of the world unite. And we're using government funds to promote a communist rally. I didn't see anybody. Do y'all see anybody out there? Jamie Ratskin, what's wrong now, Jamie? Talking to Lord Haw Haw. Look at him sitting there with his goofy little earbuds in.
Can you envision a future Supreme Court dominated by appointees by a Democratic president reversing this kind of ruling?
Well, perhaps, but the damage is going to be done for a long time. And obviously, we're going to have to try to transform the way the Supreme Court has been gerrymandered itself and stacked and packed with MAGA appointees.
The Supreme Court's been gerrymandered, according to this nitwit, because you can't use race to design your districts, because it's unconstitutional to do that. Let's see, do I want to play? I'll play this clip, and then I'll get back to Trump. Influencer Jennifer Welch, I couldn't think of her name. She's got her sidekick. Angie Pumps Sullivan confuses Tim Scott with Byron Donalds. Oh, really? Why would you do that? Oh, that's the wrong clip. Oh, I got something about, you see who was on the screen, don't you? Anyway, let's see these two bastions of liberal thought getting, simply because they're the same color, they can't get it straight.
Have to look back at the Biden years. Remember, 9% inflation, interest rates went in the same direction. The great news is, in the last 15, 16 months, President Trump has pulled a miracle. We finally have
Angela, I don't even know what you say to this. Like, it's all lies. I don't understand how you can, and he's running for office in Florida, and he's lying. He's just getting on there and making shit up. And I guess what I don't understand is people that go get gas, that went and got gas 2 years ago, how they can't like sniff this out, or bread or whatever.
Well, I want to, sorry to interrupt you, but I want to put up proving your point right here. Americans disagree with Tim Scott completely.
She's been sniffing gas. You know, and they got to be foul-mouthed old bats. You know, not worth paying attention to. Anyway, here, what is this? Got a picture of Jeffrey E. there. So word is getting out, which we were shown a long time ago. The temple and the colors and the inside of the temple were that of a certain type of structure found in the Middle East known as a mosque, right? And I showed you that email from Jeffrey Epstein where it said, Inshallah, Inshallah, God willing, and a Saudi Arabian passport. Muslim Brotherhood, okay? But anyway, here we go.
Ken, I want to turn to another topic in the DOJ's wheelhouse. There's new reporting surfacing about a potential suicide note purportedly written by Jeffrey Epstein. What can you tell us?
This is a wild story, Anna. The New York Times discovered that there's evidence that Jeffrey Epstein wrote a suicide note that's never seen the light of day because it's under seal on orders of a federal judge. And the Justice Department is saying they've never seen this note. They have no idea what it says. It was not released as part of the tranche of Epstein files, nor was it redacted, according to the DOJ. It's under seal. It was given to another inmate in the prison where Jeffrey Epstein was. Obviously, this is of great interest, given the conspiracy theories and so many people who believe that Jeffrey Epstein didn't commit suicide, even though the Justice Department's Inspector General did an exhaustive investigation and determined that he, in fact, did commit suicide. So obviously, we'd all love to see this suicide note and see what light it sheds, if any, on the circumstances of Jeffrey Epstein's death.
I don't know. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Man, I got so many Trump clips. Did I play this one?
Now think of that. Now I don't happen to be a senior. I'm much younger than you.
This is where Trump's talking about how young he feels and looks. And the people eat it up. They love him.
I'm a much younger man than you. Look at you old guys. Wouldn't you like to be my age? It's young, vital, vibrant. Now, I'm much, much younger than the people in this room, but I feel I can relate to you anyway. See, now the fake news will go tonight, and they'll say, he's claiming to be younger than the people. Do you understand? That means more money to visit.
Well, I'm looking through the chats. People say they're getting sick of this. Hey, when Trump is, if Trump is still getting up and fighting every day, I'm going to be right there with him. I'm going to be right there with him. I'm going to be there with bells on. I don't know why that other video is staying up with Jamie Ratskin. Let me see what's going on here with this video with Trump.
Stand up, please. Scott Bassett. The Democrats didn't care. They couldn't care less. All they care about is Trump derangement syndrome. They are sick. They are lunatics. We're dealing with lunatics. You can do, but I've learned, with time I've learned, if I want something, I go the opposite. In other words, if I want the wall, I say, I will not, under any circumstances, build the wall. And they give me all the money I want. True, just go the opposite. They're crazy. They're crazy. It actually is a disease. I think they're going to register it next week, Trump derangement syndrome. They're going to, TDS, it's commonly known as TDS. This man has an incurable case of TDS. To further stop.
Ask Dr. Oz to make it formal. In the AMA, the American Medical Association, formalize it. It is an illness, a serious illness that has cost us all, friends and family. But anyway, let's see what this is a short clip here. Let's see what he's talking about.
Provide seniors, and we have a record-setting average tax deduction this year of more than $7,500. Think of that. It's been amazing. And on all of them, people, and I've seen it even on the fake news. Look at all the fake news back there. What? That's a lot of fake news.
Oh, tax deduction of $7,500 for seniors. Well, he's at the Villages. That's a good place to tell everybody, and they'll love it. Dr. Oz is going to be involved in getting a lot more indictments and arrests because, man, there's so much crime in the medical field, especially with CVID. So we'll keep an eye on that. But anyway, here we go again with Trump at the Villages.
Strongly protecting Social Security and Medicare, and we always will. We have a man here who knows more about Medicaid, Medicare, medical crap than any human being. Where's Dr. Oz? Where the hell are you? Stand up. He's great. It's the most boring trip I've ever made. He's telling me about Medicare, Medicaid. All I want to do is take care of you. I don't care. I said, you work out the details, but I did say give them the max. That's all I care about. Give them whatever the hell the max is. But Oz has been great. You have been great. And Bobby's been great. He's a little different. Do you agree? We needed somebody.
Bobby's a little different. Give him the max. That's what he said. So, yeah, he knows how to hit the right buttons. That's for sure. I already played Ilhan Omar. Let me see. Let's play this one. Here's another clip. Oh, gosh, get out of here, woman. We already heard about her marrying her brother. Here we go. So she's not sleeping good. A lot of people aren't sleeping good. And, there could be some kinetic action going on in Iran right now as we speak. We don't know. Trump's not going to tell.
Pass it? I don't think. Well, Biden isn't it. Give me a break. The first question is very easy. It's a lion, a giraffe, a bear, and a shark. They say, which one is the bear? And everybody says, 30 questions. Everyone says, very standard. It's a very standard test, but very tough. Around those last 10 questions, not too many people, even in this very room, unlike Newsom, I'll say, this room of geniuses. He said, I'm in a room of dumb people. That was not good. That was not good. You know what happened to him after that? It wasn't a pretty, but I'm in a room of brilliant people, but a lot of you wouldn't have been able to answer those 10 questions. And when I got the score in the test, the doctor said, wow, I've never seen, you have 5 doctors lined up. They're all over the place. I said, should I take it? I've had different phases. They've said, he's a mad genius. I didn't mind that too much. Then they said, he's a horrible human being. I don't like that much. Then they said, he's really not a smart person at all. I really hated that. So I took a cognitive test, and I said to the doctor, first doctor is Dr. Ronnie. You know Doc Ronnie. We all love Doc Ronnie. But he had a whole team of doctors at Walter Reed, a great place. I said, so should I do it? He said, well, it's a tough exam, actually. Those last 20 questions, they get tough. A lot of people can't do them. I said, well, what do you think? He said, well, if you do it, they're going to find out because it's essentially a public, it's a military hospital. If you do badly, they're going to find out, and it won't be pleasant. I said, well, I do well on things, so let's do it. And I got everyone right. And these are tough questions. These are tough questions, They say, take a number, any number. Okay, I'll take 99. Multiply times 9, okay? Divide it by 3, good. Add 4,293, that's good. Divide by 2. Subtract 93. Divide by 9. What is your answer? Now, they go a little slower than that, but not much. I don't want to waste a lot of time. But there aren't a lot of people that get it right. I got it right, It was actually longer and more complex than that. But no, it's a tough test, so I took it. And then, everyone said, all right, good, he's smart. He's smart. It's not really smart. It's like, what we are, really? We have common sense. We're people with common sense, right? We like strong borders. We don't like open borders for the world.
Yeah, the world to pour through. No, we don't like open borders. So anyway, I'm reading there where your hubby was on Obamacare. What is that? Doug TNAPL and Andrew Branca has a 800 number to call for Medicare to make sure you're getting the best plan. Just give it a try. Go on any of Andrew Branca's broadcasts, replay his lives, and you'll get the number. Or Doug TNAPL. Right? Outlandish. Make sure you do that. I trust both those creators. Tell them your situation, and they'll tell you the best thing to do. Because no matter what, you got to be on their plan. It's been that way forever. Like my dad said, why the hell do I gotta be on Medicare when I got real good insurance? Why do I gotta be? That's just the way it is. That was 20 years ago. So I can't think of the name of Chapter. Thank you, Todd. Call Chapter. I'm not promoting it for my own benefit. I'm just saying there might be something you don't know about. Let's see what Peter Doocy got to say.
And Peter, President Trump is pulling out troops from Germany?
Yes, we just got word from the Department of War. They're going to pull 5,000 troops out of Germany. There are 38,000 American troops stationed there right now. It's going to take 6 to 12 months for this to happen. And the Department of War says they're doing this because they just finished a review of the force posture in Europe. But it's also worth pointing out this comes as President Trump has been extremely critical of Germany for their lack of help with the Iran war. He said yesterday, Spain and Italy might soon see American troops leave, too. Brett.
Peter Doocy, live on the North Lawn. Peter, thank you.
So that's a start. 5,000. Used to be 50,000 troops over there. Trump reduced them his first term. And reducing them again, giving them the business, you know. They're not, you don't want to help us. We're not helping you. So, here we go. Here's another video from Trump at the Villages. Let's see what he's got to say here. I don't think I copied any of them twice, except about Elon. I already caught that.
Got no help, zero from NATO. You know, we spend trillions of dollars on NATO. We got no help. We didn't need it, but we got none. I said, would you like to come? Yeah, you're fired. He said, fire him. No, they know they got problems. No, it was a paper tiger. We got critical race theory out of our schools. We abolished.
Yeah, so anyway, did you hear somebody hollered in the crowd, you're fired? People still talking about the Apprentice. And it's funny because on Truth Social, they put this out, that Amazon floats the Apprentice reboot, starring member of Trump's family. Who do you think it would be? Who do you think it would be? I'll tell you who I think it'll be after you all. Who could carry the water for a taking over the Apprentice? Amazon exploring a reboot of NBC's once dominant reality TV show, The Apprentice, and is weighing a family last name for the boardroom, according to Wall Street Journal. Who would it be? Who would it be as a member of the family to run a new Apprentice? And I'll tell you who I think it will be. Oh, this chick here. She filed, this is the one that resigned from Congress, who stole FEMA funds. She filed paperwork to get reelected after she resigned. I got that report somewhere buried, but you'll have to take my word for it. But now, this came out today, Trump administration takes major action against ex-Democrat who stole FEMA funds. That's Phyllis McCormick, Democrat, Florida. Well, you could, it's going to be an awful tight squeeze to get a Democrat in there. But anyway, they said there is something going on. I believe it's going to be forfeiture of assets or something of that nature. They want Don Jr. Todd said maybe Ivanka. Outlandish said Don Jr. Ivanka. Maybe Ivanka for the glam. Don Jr. is really not. He's more of a what's that? MMA fan, and he's a little rougher than a executive. I'll put it that way. I think it's going to be, if it's not Ivanka, I think it's Eric. Atlanta said Eric's too nice. Well, Miss Mindersu, call chapter up. Call chapter. Here's another clip from Trump.
The whole place is gone, and then we get people to say that we're not winning. You know, we get the radical left to say we're not winning. We're not winning. They don't have any military left. It's unbelievable. It's actually, I believe it's treasonous. Okay, you want to know the truth? It's treasonous. So we rebuilt our military. We have the.
Oh, I made a mistake. He used the actual keyword instead of sedition. He said treasonous with the media. My. I put something else. Sedition. Well, it's going to be one of those two. Going to be one of those two. Here's Trump when he arrived. Right here. Well, I'll say that. I'll play that at the end. Ha ha ha. I'm just checking out the chats real quick. Yeah, I would call chapter. They don't even know you. Just tell them your situation and what's going on with your family, and they'll toss something at you if you like it, whatever. But anyway, here we go again.
We're in a war because I think you would agree we cannot let lunatics have a nuclear weapon. Do you agree? Whoa. Because if you read the fake polls and things, it says, well, it's only a 20% or 25%. It's nonsense. Look at this. I'm talking about all these things you're getting, and you stand up when I talk about you can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. We can't. But I did something that was, I don't know, foolish, brave, but it was smart. I would do it again. But I thought the numbers would be much worse. I thought the stock market would go down much more. I thought the oil prices would go up much more. I said, but we have no choice. Whether it does or doesn't, I have to do what's right. We can't let them have a nuclear weapon. So I called it.
Yeah, you want to pay 50 cents to $1 more for gas and then be doing prayers at 5 a.m. or get blown up? Take your choice. What do you want? I'll pay the 50 cents to $1 more for gas till they get wiped out. Trump expands Cuba sanctions. I didn't put that in my title, but he's not letting the pressure off on them. They're not getting the message. But they will get the message. Like I said last night, I got one more jog left in me if I ever get a chance to go down there and not get imprisoned or robbed or pirated. But yeah, Outlandish, you're right. I've talked about that. Our parents are probably the generation. I've said before about our grandparents and great-grandparents. They didn't go to their great reward after living their lives with $2 million medical bills or $1.5 million medical bills. Now everybody has to walk that gauntlet. Every time they get sick, every time they got to go in for a procedure, it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, you break your toe and you're in there for 2 days or whatever. You're looking at debt that would break you. You know, what, 20 grand? Or a toe? So it's, well, what am I talking about? Probably 40 grand. It's crazy. It's insane. It's a license to steal. A license to steal. Back in the day, I told you when I had a bad cut on the back of my hand, it would have probably needed about 10 stitches, and I got it taken care of in the doctor's office. It cost me $40. Good luck with that today. Good luck with that today. I didn't get a chance to play this yet. What is this? Let me see. CNN, it can't be so much. Oh my God, Anna Navarro. Oh boy, look at her.
Obviously got some serious deficits. We haven't had an African-American Republican governor since Reconstruction. I mean, there's unfortunately imbalance between the two parties.
Republicans tried to elect one in Virginia.
Okay. Well,
I'm just saying. And then you got a white Democrat who gerrymandered the state. It's all crumbling.
We're going to end this here. Everything is crumbling clearly at this table.
Ha ha! Scott Jennings redeeming himself. We haven't had an African American governor, and Scott Jennings said, "Yeah, Republicans tried to elect one in Virginia. We got Spamberger. She's as white can be." So anyway, what's this one? Another report here. What is this report? Oh, here we go. Here they are. Did you all see any of this going on? This is the first I heard of it. First I heard of it. New Americans warned. Who's warning me about what? Brace for thousands of far-left riots across the country. Americans are being urged to brace for a wave of far-left May Day demonstrations. Organizers say will span the country, with some schools and workplaces already preparing for disruptions. 600 protests. Have you all heard anything about this? I mean, don't they ever just have a day where they're happy about something? I don't know what the hell is wrong with these people. TDS. I got a couple mystery, what's this one? Some mystery videos. Let me see what this is. Whoopi turns up the fear-mongering to full blast. Well, I've already had some stranger tell me to worry about a bunch of lefties going cuckoo on labor work day or whatever, May Day, whatever the hell it is. But anyway, let's see what Whoopi has to say. I hadn't seen her beautiful face in so long.
This decision, we knew this was coming because they've been chipping away at this for a long time. The court said, there's no problem with race anymore, and yet we're fighting every day talking about Project 2025. We know what's happening, and it's going to start happening to women as well. Because all these changes in voting where they're saying you can't use your married name, you got to go get your birth certificate. So this is going to affect a lot of people. Right now, it sounds like it's just affecting people of color. We know better. We knew this was coming. So this is meant to discourage you from voting. This is meant to make you feel like you don't have a voice. You do have a voice. Do not forget that. But do you see it as a step backwards also?
Well, what the hell is she talking about? You have a voice. Of course you have a voice. You can go vote. And our voice is to get the illegals the hell out. And we've had it with creepy Democrats. This guy was saying that he doesn't think we got a problem with violent rhetoric. I don't know. Let me see what he's got to say.
I've spent my entire adult life, my professional career as a journalist, trying to separate the two out. As you know, I'm a very outspoken critic of Israel, and especially this Israeli government and this genocide in Gaza. But I go out of my way to tell people on my side of the argument, do not do that. Do not conflate Jews and Judaism with Israel or even with Zionism. And look, it becomes more complicated because, of course, many people in the Jewish community do support Israel, and that becomes a problem. I think we need to be able to have these conversations, but at the same time, all agreeing that violence is never the solution. Anti-Semitic violence is horrific, just as any other kind of racist or political violence is. But it's a conversation that has to be had. We can't hide away from this. There's a big debate about the definition of anti-Semitism. The IHR...
No, I'm sorry. That's what his issue was. Too many Jewish people support Israel. That's what his problem is. Where's that guy that was talking about violence? Yeah, if less Jews would support Israel, we'd be better off, according to that guy. I don't know what the hell he's expecting, but all right, let's see what's this. You can be Jewish, just don't support Israel. Okay. I don't know who this is. Trump hush money trial. What?
I mean, Donald Trump is an extreme danger to our democracy. He is, in my view, an unstable man that poses a variety of dangers.
He's an existential threat to democracy.
And this is just what we imagined the devil would be like.
Well,
they're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
He is the gravest threat to our democracy in our history.
He's channeling Adolf Hitler.
For a man to stand up there and really give legitimacy to what Hitler stood for and killed 6 million Jews, that was anti-black, those that would be LGBTQ, we describe now.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to democracy.
I feel like MAGA in general, they are threats to us domestically.
And of course, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Yeah, the White House put that out. The White House. Just to remind everybody who's the one spreading the violent rhetoric and inciting public hostility. I want to see what this is.
You know, it's interesting they'd like.
Oh, let's see. Molly Hemingway. I think I'll leave off with her. Let me see. Here we go. Here's one more clip from Donald Trump. Let's see. I think these are all salient ones from the Village's visit. Let's see what he got to say.
This is what they're doing with ICE. This is what they're doing with Border Patrol. With the help of our Republican majorities in Congress, we will pass the great health care plan, stop all payments to big insurance companies, and give the money directly to the people to buy their own health care, which will be a much better health care at a much lower price than ours. You're working on that. It's one of the most popular things. You know, the problem is the Democrats will not vote for it because they're owned by these big insurance companies. They're owned, lock, stock, and barrel. We want to pay the money not to the insurance company, but to the people directly to the people, a health savings account, directly into that account, and you go out and buy your own much better health insurance at a much lower cost. Money left over will crush violent crime. We have done an unbelievable job on crime. Impose hard.
See there, he's putting the competition back in where they can't just charge whatever they want and the government pays for it and then still charges you a copay that used to be the same amount of premium when you had your private policy. Did you notice that? You had a private policy, your payment every month, you had good coverage, Then they took over. And then they say, oh, you need a supplemental insurance and you need copays. And it's as much as more as your whole payment used to be. So, yeah, it's a license to steal. But anyway, folks, let me see. I want to put in the link one more time, close out. I went to whole broadcasts and forgot to say, give me a thumbs up. If you're still with me, I hope you remember to give me a thumbs up. And at the 148 mark, I put a link in for Buy Me a Coffee. And I appreciate everybody that's helped out. And I can't forget that boom, at Miss Mendersu put a Moab. When she goes by, she puts in a Moab to buy me a coffee. So I would be remiss if I didn't bring that up. And Robin for starting off the month of May. So I didn't see a bunch of protests. Did you all have to dodge a bunch of protesters? But Molly Hemingway, I'm going to put her up. Where did she go? This is her right here. And give you all a little something to think about as I go out. So, where'd K&S Cleanup, how you doing? All right, well, I see in here. And I appreciate all your help over a long time, Gary. You've been a good friend. And, yeah. I'm just, how many of the people are,
it's interesting.
Rubber faces. How many are real? I think we're going to start to see some big arrests coming up. Even though we had, James Comey, he's looking at asset forfeiture. We'll talk about that some more too. I'm sure you all have heard about it. But we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of that. What do I always say? I say thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I'll play this short clip from Molly Hemingway to close out the show. We can watch it together because I'm not too familiar with what it's going to say. But anyway, I hope you all have a great night. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so you'll know when I go live. And give me a thumbs up. So anyway, you all have a great night. Enjoy this clip. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.
Interesting. They'd like to just do their work as judges. It was Chief Justice John Roberts' job to manage that leak investigation. I don't think there's.
Right.
I don't think people are thrilled with how it went, but also what they were dealing with was unprecedented, and they're not political. Like, they don't have PR shops or communication shops or political strategists. They're just a judge with 4 clerks who are elite graduates of elite law schools, and they don't really have the means of managing this type of political operation against them. They're having to deal with massive propaganda farms like ProPublica running hit pieces against them. And then the other thing is, there's one way of life for the liberal justices and another for the conservatives. The liberals, they can go appear on a Broadway play, they can go to the Grammys, they can party with Beyonce, they can travel all over the world, and if they get noticed, it's just to praise them. And then the conservatives, they and their spouses and their children can't go to dinner together because they might get killed. So that disparity means that the liberal justices are really kind of out of touch with what the conservatives are going through.